Hello and welcome back to Nick's Hobbies and Interests. Again, it's Monday, a new train video, part of the Mind the Gap playlist. So, today we are going to be looking at the Flying Scotsman. This was my first actual real entry into the real world of train sets and model railways. Before the Flying Scotsman came around into my, collection, I was only running like Thomas the Tank Engine. You know, I had the Flying Scotsman maybe 18 years ago. I was still just a little boy, and yeah, Thomas the Tank Engine was really my first real entry into 00 gauge electric trains. Now, this, of course, is not the original one I ever got. This is the digital with sound, etc. The one I got originally, all those years ago, I still have to this day. It is still just DC, no sound. But the box itself does not fit in the light box. It is too big. So I'm going to have to do it end by end. I'm cropping the video in the editing just because it gets a bit long. I might as well say right now, I did pick up excess coaches to form a rake, a nice line of 8 in total. As you can see, there we go. See, that is actually touching the back there, right there. So yes. Now we'll do the other end. And as you can see, excuse the tape, like I said, this is my oldest one in the collection. It does still come with the old analog controller there. Some tracks and points. Actually, you get quite a bit, don't you? That's why it's based off the oldest, well, at least one of the older Hornby models with the dual 3-line level crossing there. So yes, it's accounting for 2 sidings. And just a single loop, obviously. And naturally, you get the Flying Scotsman and 4 coaches, and one of those, of course, is the guard van, the end car. Right, with that being said, let's now take a look inside. So, Flying Scotsman, as you can see right at the top there, I still actually have the paper wrapping on that coach there. You have the 2 here, and then I believe down the other end, there is rubbish inside my light box. Down the other end is the other coach. This was the one I was telling you about that belongs at the end, like the guard wagon. I don't think this is actually called a guard wagon, but yeah, it is the tail end of your coach lineup. I believe I picked up 4, so I might have a total of 8 in total, including the guard coach. You get 4, I guess, in here, and then another 4. So yeah. And then, of course, yeah, I did pick up the DCC version. Only because if I go completely DCC, I can run my other train. If I still want to run the Flying Scotsman, let's say I do this Apex roof layout, whether it's American themed or not, but I'm still going to have that as DC, so I can run everything, even my original trains, as long as they still work. You know, it's been a long time since I actually had this guy out running around. So it was a Christmas present from my parents all those years ago. What the hell? Might as well unbox this. I'm going to get it out anyway for this video, so might as well unbox it on camera. Right, so this is the digital sound variant. Excuse the manuals and all that falling out from underneath. Take off the lid. Let's get rid of the manuals actually, and get rid of, well, actually no, they can stay there. So yeah, as you can see, he's still wrapped up. And drink your tea whilst this takes a moment. It was a bit awkward to get out the box, but eventually we did it. Right, after that, now let's pick him up, bring him closer to the camera. Yeah, all wide up underneath. But yeah, it probably hasn't changed much compared to the older, the older variant, sorry. I was confused of which one I had in my hand. I had this running on the track prior to taking the old model, the old train set apart. And yeah, it ran lovely, had a range of different sounds. If you fancy a little look, I would recommend just scrolling back through my YouTube channel, find the train videos, and you should see it flying around at one point. I know I had it up and running at the same time. I had the, what other train did I get? I got this at the same time I got, it was the fastest train built at the time. It was blue, front end, you know, like the Flying Scotsman, but not the Flying Scotsman, like the Eurostar. My goodness, my head is not there. I'm thinking Milano. It was not called Milano, for goodness sake. It was called something else. Oh, somebody is going to fire away in the comments, I'm sure, and say exactly what I'm thinking of. Okay, so what we have here is the analog and the DCC version together. Now, they are quite sentimental to me, especially the analog. Obviously, it's one of my oldest trains. I think actually the oldest train I actually own. Now, not the DCC version, of course. I do think there is a minor difference. When I had them side by side, it doesn't appear to be like that on the camera, but looking at them through the eye, they do seem to be slightly different tones of green, slightly, very minuscule. Minuscule? Yeah, you know what I mean. Now, I have no problem with people that like diesel trains. I will always have a special place somewhere that I really do love steam. My model railway, whether it's the one I'm building now or a future build, it will have steam on it, but it is always going to be more modern. I don't plan to do a build or theme around steam and only steam. I mean, even today, you can go and find a steam engine up and running, just not, they're not as popular, are they? They've been overtaken by diesel and electric. But you still can find a heritage line. There is still nearby. I've constantly been thinking of going to volunteer on it. There is a heritage line nearby where they're running steam. And yeah, I have been so interested in going down there. And like I say, just volunteering, just to be in that environment again. They have a mixture of rolling stock and coaches. They have support wagons. They have I always loved this, they have a crane, one of the railway line cranes, it's just sitting there. And I've got the Hornby version of it somewhere down in my cabin, boxed away. And I thought, if I'm ever going to weather that thing, I'm going to go and take photos of the real one and then go back and do the weathering afterwards. So stay tuned for that. I may do it one day. We'll see. For now, we'll get back to this loco in particular, the Flying Scotsman. I, of course, do have the 8 coaches. I'm only going to put a couple on display here now, side by side, because one of these, the closest one, is from the DC set, and then the one at the back is obviously the more recent purchase, the DC. Well, when I picked up the DCC loco, I also picked up the extra 4 coaches. They haven't changed much, to be fair, considering one's 18 years old, and then for me, the other one's fairly new. The roofing detail's the same, paint application about the same. It is fair enough. It is fairly close to, you know, one another. It hasn't changed much. And then, of course, I only have the one guard van that were on the very end. I could have picked up 2. The fact I got 2 Flying Scotsmans, but no, I'll settle for just the one. Like I say, I want to see a nice rake of coaches being pulled along by just the one engine. Unfortunately, at this time, I still haven't got a running session for you. When I continue to do these videos in the future, when it starts getting warmer and I'm back down my cabin, when I review a train or just put a train in the light box, you can expect a running session will follow right at the end of the video. Just be a bit patient. These trains will be back up and running somewhere, whether it's on the layout that's down the cabin, or if I'm moving still, it will be in my new place. So yeah, just keep an eye out. There will be more content coming for you train lovers. Today is Valentine's Day, so I'm going to have a Valentine's Day special coming up. It will not be train related, but if you're sticking around and following my other content, you'll know I've got figures and pop vinyls. It is going to be a pop vinyl. It's going to be Avengers, Iron Man. So yes, if you'd like to see that, stay tuned. If not, for you train lovers, I'll see you next Monday with another train video. If you got this far, thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.